President of Mount Dennis Community Association will be asking the next question. Thank you.
So on behalf of the Community Association, the Toronto Star article last week asked, where's the urban agenda? Having watched the leaders' debate yesterday, we have to ask the same question again, because almost nothing was said about the special financial needs of Canada's cities. In almost every other country, the national government would be providing its largest city with funds for public transit. Our federal government stopped doing that in 2009, and none of the major parties are suggesting reinstating it. There's also a growing need for spending on other public infrastructure. Public housing comes to mind, which is currently in a deplorable condition. So I have a three-part question. What have your parties done about these issues in the past 4 years? What will your parties do in the future? And very specifically, what will you personally do about ensuring adequate federal support for transit and public housing if we were to elect you as our MP?
Do I get 45 seconds?
No, I was just about to say that's about 15 seconds on each bit and a roundup at the end. Okay, Mike. You're not supposed to ask supplementaries, Bob.
The NDP has put forward a bill to force the federal government to fund public transit again. The Liberals cut all of public housing out of the system years ago, and the Conservatives have not put it back, and the NDP would put it back. We have tons of public housing building, particularly in this riding, that is going to rot because the money is no longer there from the federal government, and we need to bring it back. And the NDP would, in fact, bring back a national public housing strategy that would focus on cities. The NDP would also be in a position to increase the level of infrastructure funding specifically for cities, because the cities in this country are the engines that drive us. It's no longer, most Canadians now live in cities. They don't live in rural communities anymore, and we need special attention paid to cities in order to make sure that these cities work on the federal level.
Well, the Green Party has a comprehensive plan to invest in cities. You know, out of the 100% of taxes that Canadians pay, only 8% of that goes back to municipalities. So in our fully costed budget that's available at greenparty.ca, we have set aside money specifically for cities. Money to remediate brownfields, for water and waste treatment facilities, for sports, recreation, and cultural facilities, to promote mass transit, cycling, pedestrian transit, and for community housing. You know, the Canadian Federation of Municipalities has reviewed our plan and recently issued a press release giving us high praise, applauding our strong support for Canadian cities. Our plan would result in livable cities with world-class infrastructure and healthy communities.
It's rather ironic that it was the NDP that brought the Martin government down, and one of the key parts of the Martin government's budget was to invest in cities, in particular into public transit, and the rehabilitation of public housing and new housing through a massive support for CMHC. And we were defeated on that, and it's just ironic that the NDP is now coming forward and saying that we should do that now. We should have done that many, many years ago and had the opportunity to do it. We believe that the residential rehabilitation assistance program that was cut by the government should be reinvested in, and that's one of the planks that we have, and it would do massive amount for the improvement of the public housing in this area. And with respect to the role in public transit, we were the ones that advocated the gas tax. We would improve on the gas tax, and we would improve on the investment in public transit. My private member's bill doesn't just call for electrification, it calls for a new form of funding support through the federal government for transit.